Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began. There are 387 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nano-angstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for you at this micro-instant, you stupid piece of sh- Yes, hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a shorter video talking about the Stellaris machine intelligences in 4.0. I decided to make this video really quickly in between making another video, because making that video has taken a while, alright? Like, it's not particularly good, it's just stuff happened in real life, and in between working and making videos, I decided to play a little bit of Stellaris, a little as a treat for myself, right? And I decided to play as a machine intelligence, because I actually never did that before. I almost exclusively play regular organic empires, only once played a machine empire, and that was an individualistic machine. So I decided to play a machine intelligence in 4.0. Now, I have seen other people play machine intelligences before 4.0, mind you, but I knew the gist, you know? No consumer goods, no food, a lot of energy, you know, just what could possibly go wrong, I thought to myself. And I must say, playing as a machine intelligence in 4.0 has become the most frustrating, aggravating, and unrewarding game I have had the displeasure of experiencing. And the reason why it has been so bad is specifically because of a few things that have been updated with 4.0. And the two main reasons why it sucked the entire time were amenities and a few bugs that perfectly combined with the amenities issue to create a perfect coagulation of nonsense that made it horrible to play. So let's begin with the amenities. You see, amenities normally are produced either by your civilians, by buildings, or by entertainers, you know? There's a lot of ways to produce amenities, and it's usually not an issue. You know, you dedicate a certain amount of population to creating amenities, and wham, you have them. Not very complicated. And I thought it would be the same with machine intelligences. However, there are no entertainers with machine intelligences. There is no machine intelligence equivalent of a holo theater. There are only the drone storages, which are the machine intelligence equivalents of the luxury residences. Outside of that, the only way to make amenities are maintenance drones. And in the past, before 4.0, maintenance drones were fine, a little bit inefficient. You had to use a lot of pops, but if you had enough maintenance drones to make above positive or above zero amenities, then you are fine. It's easy, right? And maybe you can throw in a drone storage to make things cooler, right? Amazing. In 4.0, however, that is not how things work. You see, maintenance drones are no longer produced by buildings or by city districts. They are the machine intelligence equivalent of civilians, meaning you cannot control how many there are. The only way to reliably make amenities is via the drone storages. And to that you may say, like, oh, if you just don't have enough amenities, let the population build up enough so that there are enough maintenance drones so that you have enough amenities, right? Makes sense. Well, I do not like that. Not only is that convoluted, but it also pairs with a few bugs, or rather a bug, that makes this actually kind of impossible and infuriating. You see, not only do you have to wait until the amenities are above 1,200 in order to create a new building or a new district, because 200 maintenance drones create 1,200 amenities, and 200 is the amount of maintenance drones you're going to be taking if you're building something new. So all you need to do is wait until the population of maintenance drones goes up. You have 1,200 amenities, you build something great, right? No. You see, maintenance drones migrate because, you know, they are unemployed. They migrate from planet to planet when there is no jobs on the planet you want your maintenance drones at, which is very frustrating. Luckily though, you can just turn off migration for your drones, right? That's possible, right? Unfortunately, no, it isn't. This is where the bug comes in. You see, even though your drones have migration controls enabled in the current version of 4.0, that doesn't work. They migrate anyways. which makes building up maintenance drones virtually impossible, which is very frustrating. They migrate everywhere, it is impossible to build up, and the only reliable way is via drone storages, which becomes very inefficient and not viable because they take up a lot of building slots. It can lead to abominations like this, where you cannot increase the maintenance drones because they just migrate everywhere and you can't do anything, and it's horrible. It's terrible. These two problems make playing machine intelligences incredibly frustrating. You cannot reliably build up your amenities, meaning you cannot reliably grow your colonies past a certain point. You like reach a cap and then bam, you are stopped way before you should be, which is very annoying. Like, I don't know, like why can't they just make it so that the machine intelligences have their own version of a holo theater that give, I don't know, super maintenance drones, jobs or whatever. Like, I don't know, just do something, because this is terrible. I really hate how the current amenities situation works, because in the past you could control how many maintenance drones you had on a planet. Right now, though, you cannot. And another problem I had playing as a machine intelligence is how the organic populations worked. You see, if you are not a special type of machine intelligence, you have two choices on how to deal with your organics, and that is either to purge them or to make them grid amalgamations, basically matrix-style energy generator batteries, whatever. And I wanted to do that. That fit my empire thematically, and it was also economically more productive, so I did that. Unfortunately, though, at the time, it seemed very broken, but it wasn't broken in the same way I originally thought. And you'll have to forgive me for this because I do not have the necessary screenshots, because I figured this out way after I finished playing this specific empire. So originally I thought, based on this screenshot that I took, that the grid amalgamation populations are broken. Despite them saying that they don't cost any consumer goods, they cost consumer goods, which is very annoying as a machine intelligence. And despite being only a very few of them, they caused massive balancing issues for the planet. Like, the stability constantly plummeted for no apparent reason, and if you try to reassign populations from purging to grid amalgamation, they become nothing. They go into this strange in-between realm of doing nothing, being quote-unquote repurposed, and they were like this forever. And I originally thought that this was the issue, and I dealt with it by purging them, by displacing them all away. It kinda sucked, but it had to be done. And after I did that, after I was done with the day, I was in the shower, thinking of the annoyances of playing that game, it dawned on me. Because you see, when I was purging them, I wanted to purge them quickly. I wanted to get them out as quickly as possible. And to do that, I spread them out across all of my planets, right? Like 100 population or 200 population to one planet, and then to the other and the other. Therefore, they are purged very quickly, so I do not have to deal with the problem for a lot of in-game time. And when I was relocating them, at the time, I thought to myself, oh, damn, this is way more than just 300 population. It feels like I'm relocating way more pops than there were before on the planet. And I didn't really think much of it at the time. You know, I just relocated them, they all got away, and the problem was solved, despite me not getting the extra energy, which sucked, but it had to be done. And then it dawned on me. The reason why there were more population, or at least it seemed like there were more population relocated from that planet of 300, wasn't because I misremembered, but because there actually was a bigger population. Because you see, when I conquered the planet that these problems were being caused on, grid amalgamations are considered as worker jobs. So all the workers, naturally, went to be the grid amalgamations. Makes sense. And you'd expect that the same would happen for specialists and rulers, right? No. It didn't, for some reason. They, the specialists and rulers, were still there. They cost their regular upkeep because they were unemployed. They were very unhappy, causing instability on my planet, and they were invisible. On the planet management screen, they were nowhere to be found. The only time I saw them, and didn't really think much of it, was when I was resettling them. That was what was happening. And my question to that is, why? Why is this a bug? Why don't they go and be the grid amalgamations? Why does their position matter? How did this bug come to be? Why is this game like this? Developers, please, what are you doing? Fix this, give us amenities, and just stop. I hate this. There is really no other word. It's just a frustrating mess that I had to deal with, and still have to deal with. The amenities issues are not solved. They are still there. I cannot solve them. There is no way to solve them. I cannot distribute luxury goods. I cannot give more maintenance drone jobs. I cannot do anything. I hate this. Okay, anyways, that was the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, why? It was just me rambling. The next video will be coming up sometime in the next decade. It's not very good, so do not expect much, okay? Goodbye.